Hello and welcome to Grind Slime TV with me, your host Aaron. And today you're going to need to grab a lantern, a pickaxe, and a picnic basket because we're heading straight underground. And you may not want to come back. They got a circus and everything. Plus they got these guys, motherfucking Mefisto from Sweden. This is their demo compilation from 1986. As you can see, the little date there underneath. Also known as the Megalomania puzzle, because their first demo was called Megalomania and the one afterwards was called the puzzle. So that solved that little mystery. Now this is an absolute underground gem. Like oh bloody hell. To the point where, like, put it this way, the youngest member of this band was 14 when they recorded these two demos. Guitarist, very good guitarist as well. And they never played a show back then. They split up in like early '87 because there was just no support from the local scene. They couldn't get a record deal anywhere. They didn't know their way around promoters and things like that. But these guys made a hell of a noise back then. They really, really stirred things up, and many of today's bands, from particularly from the scene back then, have all said Mefisto is one of the big influences, including Michael Ackerfeld from Opeth, LG Petrov, rest in peace, from Entombed, as well as many others. But these guys really, really are the real deal when it comes to underground metal from the 80s. And this is first wave black metal at its finest. It's got huge influences from Venom, Sodom, uh, Slayer, Merciful Fate, Bathory, and Metallica, and you can hear all of these influences throughout as well. So if you're into any of that stuff, well, not any of, because this doesn't sound like any of those bands, but you can hear the influences just all throughout. Just really like Hellhammer, Celtic Frost, all the old gems. You put this on, it's like, yeah, particularly Metallica. And what do you think? Sort of Ride the Lightning, Master of Puppets. When they went a bit more progressive sounding, the clean parts, the long solos, the little breaks and stuff. This is absolutely dripping in them, and it is absolutely fantastic. And have a look at that bad boy again. And that's cool, isn't it? Inside you've got your lyrics and whatnot, mainly around war, nuclear war, hell, but the old school hell from Dante's Inferno, where it's actually like ice and stuff, and also, is it Norse mythology? I think hell there, like Helveta or whatever it's called. I think it's like all snow as well. But yeah, death, the usual sort of stuff, the occult. They love all that. You've got your liner notes. There's the original covers there, which is always nice. Got quite a nice bit in here from John Christensen as well, who also goes by a name Metallion, who did the Slayer mag from the sort of mid to late 80s through to the early 2000s. And look at this. Here's the boys there. I mean, look, little baby face there. I mean, 14 years old. I think these are like 16, 17 maybe, but ridiculously talented. They've got all the little zine appearances and extra photos there, including one of them with Quorthon from no, was that it? Yeah, out down there with Quorthon from Bathory. So really cool stuff. And Bathory as well, according to the liner notes, thank them in their either second or third album. I'm going to go have a look after this video and see which one it is. Ooh. Yes, mate. Yes, mate. But yeah, if you're into any of those bands I mentioned before, you'll find a little bit of it in this. It's absolutely iconic stuff. Got your Baphomet there, back before people were using Baphomet left, right, and centre, as they are wont to do these days. Oh yes. So yeah, not much more to say about this because they've brought out albums since they reformed in 2015 after sort of seeing the popularity of the demo. They were like, oh shit, people actually do still care about us. And I think it's only the original drummer slash vocalist and lyricist who's in the band now. They're a six-piece now of all things. And their first album that they brought out, 2016 in 2016, as you can imagine. It's a good album. It's got a few songs from these on there, but it suffers really flat production, and the vocals on it are a little bit weak. But then they came back with their self-titled, and mate, that's a fine album. Very different to this sort of stuff, but they sort of take on a much darker, much heavier sound, and the bass is absolutely diabolical. You shut your mouth. So definitely worth getting onto. So go to Spotify, YouTube, look for Mefisto with an F, not a PH, and just look for Megalomania or the puzzle, or go onto Spotify where they've got the Megalomania puzzle, and just enjoy 45 minutes of really old school Black and Death thrash, just straight up extreme metal from those days. I mean, and like the band Poison, not the gay one, obviously, but the one from Germany. Like the what was that? I was going to say Sign of Evil, but that was Sodom. Unless they have got one called Sign of Evil. Oh, I can't remember. Like I said, when the camera starts rolling, you just forget stuff. It's annoying. But yes, Mefisto, 1986, the two demos, can't go wrong, and it's definitely worth checking. If you don't like it, just to say you've checked it out and you sort of see where a lot of the bands from today get their roots from, right here. So, thank you all very much for joining me today, and join me in a moment as I'll be doing part 6 of my top 50. Support the underground and don't step in bear traps.